Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another cast of Major League Mech Warrior. I'm Homeless Bill, and tonight I am joined by QQ's team captain, Carpenter. How's it going, man?
Good, man. I'm also streaming from my Twitch as well, so we'll have a little multicast,
Yeah,
multi-Twitch link for you guys too.
definitely. We'll put the multi-Twitch link in chat. It's good to get a couple different perspectives. I will be, I guess, attempting to do... I guess I'm probably better at overview stuff, but I will try to get in on the action when I see something happening. So, yeah, this is going to be a great series right here. EmpyreaL versus SJR. They don't get any better or higher level than this. These are the top two teams, and honestly, they're almost head and shoulders above the others. Even 228, though they gave EMP a run for their money in CSJ, in terms of win-loss record, EMP and SJR are the ones that compete against each other. Formerly Lords, of course, EMP.
Well,
What's your prediction, man? Who's it go to?
I don't know. SGR had some really strong performance against EMP in the finals of RHOD. So I think a lot of people were thinking EMP probably at the beginning with the predictions, but given the way they 3-0'd in RHOD, granted that is 8v8 and different setup as well, but I think this is going to be a 4 or 5 game series, and it really could go either way.
I totally agree. I hope this ends up being a, series of 5 all the way to the bitter end. And yeah, EMP was definitely not on their game in the RHOD finals. They just didn't have it that day. And SJR, for the past couple of weeks that I've been watching them, they are just as solid as I've ever seen them looking. Great timing, really forceful pushes. They know what they're doing, and I hope to see that continue, and I'm sure that EMP will be hungry for the win tonight, at least to put in a good performance. So, yeah.
Yeah. So a little bit of, I guess we should start off with a little bit of background on these two teams. They're undefeated. They've run 4 rounds. Well, I guess they had buys really in round 1, so they've had 3 rounds of matches here. And so on the EMP side, they faced Isengrim and defeated them in best of 3 series, 2-0. Then had to face Seraphim, who did defeat QQ.
I feel like they've dropped. They're in. They're wasting no time.
Shit.
We're starting on time.
Okay.
Oh my god! All right, let's get in on Heimdallite and see how this goes.
All right. I just went to click on Magician, and he is not in the drop, surprisingly.
Oh jeez.
Nope.
I might
Switch your overlay. Switch your overlay.
Yeah, I see. I can't because it automatically does it, but I will try to stay out of the game right now.
Right, so
yeah,
on the
they're
EMP side,
scrimming. They're scrimming.
Yeah.
They're scrimming. Okay, forget about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna take down the game, I guess.
Oh, that's a scrim. Okay.
Yeah, it's a scrim. So don't cast this. Don't cast this. Take it off.
All right, I'm staring off into space. Let's
was
see what goes
optimistic.
in the beyond. Whoa. Hey, you know what? I'm show people now what goes on beyond the map borders, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So, like the Viking days of old, the world just ends and it's flat and fall off into space. So we have regressed in the 3050s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Planets are actually boxes. It's all a big Illuminati conspiracy.
This makes me think of the movie Cube, where you have that infinity cube, basically, or what felt like an infinity cube, just floating in space.
Yep.
I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I just love how
sci-fi
ghetto
movie. It's kinda
games
cool.
really are. Like, when you look under the hood, when you do this for a living, everything is fake. Everything is bullshit. It's just as little performance as we can spend on something as possible. And you really, it's fun to see tricks like that when you get in development mode and stuff like that. But I think you're right that we should talk about these teams, a little bit of history here. Honestly, these teams have competed against each other forever. SJR, of course, the longest standing competitive team, at least that I know of. They've been around forever, since what, open beta? Closed beta? They've had a few guys stay together since MechWarrior 4. I mean, Mag
They've
and
been around,
Glory.
yeah, they've been around before, well before. I think they've got, I I think it's like an 8 or 10-year history, if not more now. Actually, now we're adding on the MWO history. But let me just throw. Go. Gonna throw the bracket here, so you get to see this part of the bracket, the upper half of the bracket. So we were talking about EMP's matches. They beat Isaac Rim 2-0. Then they beat Seraphim 2-0, and then they faced in a best-of-5 match against 228's Blackwatch, which is their primary team, and that was a 3-0 win. So EMP has pretty much trampled its way to this stage uncontested. And from the SGR side, it's the same thing. They beat Marine Mech's 228's second team, Swamp Foxes, and CSJ, which is considered to be the number 4 team, I believe, by rank in the tournament, or number 3 team actually in the tournament. So, and CSJ and 228 Blackwatch are facing off on Tuesday to go on to face the loser of this series between EMP and SJR. We'll see if maybe one of those 2 teams can upset one of these 2 top teams and move into the final.
Definitely, it's gonna be gritty here, and for the loser of this round, it is a long road back, because remember, the loser, or the winner of the losers bracket, has to beat the winners of the winners bracket in 2 series in a row, because it is double elimination. And so, you know, the team that loses this is not only going to have to win against either 228 or CSJ, but then they're going to have to come back and beat this team they lost against twice in a row. So it's a long road back, and this is going to be a huge advantage. The Magician also personally has quite a bit riding on this round, because he and Wonka are in contention for the best, you know, bracket predictions, and it's either SJR wins and Magician wins that, or EMP wins and Wonka wins that. So that's another thing to watch.
Wow, it's a pretty tough to get a lot of the predictions right, because we had a few upsets along the way.
Definitely, you guys pulled off quite a few upsets. I was proud of how you guys did.
Yeah, beating Swamp Foxes and then Mercstar's A-Team. That was a 5-game series, and we like to entertain, so we're happy that we were able to deliver more than just a 3-game series and give people a taste of what that 600-ton drop looks like as well.
And even against 228th, you guys took it to 4, whereas pretty much all of the... I'm thinking that you guys are the only team that hasn't just been 3-0s since the best of 5 started. Let me verify this.
I'm looking at it right now. It's true. This is
yeah.
true.
Shout out to Snaffits for making this amazing bracket tool on the Major League MechWarrior website, which I linked it 5 minutes ago, so go look at that link. MajorLeagueMechWarrior.com, awesome little bracket tool made by Snaffits, so you can see everything, what's going on, and yeah, it's definitely been a lot of 3-0s towards the end here, and that just goes to show just how different, you know, it is at the top. It's just so stratified, the skill. I keep forgetting that every time I click into the client, it's just going to switch. It's going to switch. So, HPG, pretty symmetrical, but it does have a couple of differences.
Yeah. So HPG, got the map up.
I'm going to link you to Map Tactic. So, hang on. If I can find you on Skype. I always forget that you're not Carpenter, you're Al.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Alright, let's get this map tactic in.
And let me know when you're in. So, okay, you're there. You are a driver now, so you can draw stuff. Just always wanted. You know what? I'm going to do a mech bay giveaway early, because we got a ton of mech bays to give away. Oh my god, we have way too many to give away.
Man, I don't know how many times I've no pantsed in chat, and I haven't had any luck. Thanks, Homeless. Thanks.
You're welcome. I love to spread the love around to my own unit, right?
I didn't get any mech bases.
Yeah,
I'm not
and
feeling any love.
everyone should be sure to watch chat. Army of One has 5 more mech bays in addition to whatever I can manage to give away. So watch it. There might be trivia. It might just be stupid stuff like no pants. But always be watching that stream chat out of the corner of your eye. Might miss free stuff. So, I guess Imperial... Wait, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, or go ahead. What were we gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say Imperial's history is basically their lords. I mean, lords basically just reformed under the Imperial banner. Most of the players, anyways. And they picked up a couple of those, like Twinkie from Swords of Kentares, and a couple of those others. I'm pretty sure Proton is Black Spikes, and so yeah, it's just, you know, both of these top teams are just a very competitive play-to-win mentality. They're no BS. You know, they're very frank with each other. They're not afraid to call each other out. They expect perfection, and it's just fun to see teams like that play. I should probably just write Imperial's text for them instead of hoping they'll send me something.
Gonna go on your homeless Twitch as well, just to monitor the chat.
And I'm watching for everybody to get in lobby. It looks like EMP's in lobby, but SJR is not yet, so I assume we've got, I don't know, 5 more minutes.
How do you do that multi-Twitch? How do you do that multi-Twitch?
Multi-twitch.tv/one name/the other name/the third name.
Alright. Well, let's get a multi-Twitch link up.
I did throw one in there, but it's probably good to just keep spamming that. So, alright,
yeah,
let's give a mech bay away. It's going to the Frine. The Frine. You win. Your mech bay will be messaged to you with the sweet new messaging system that Twitch has, where you can just whisper right in chat without having to open a bunch more windows and stupid crap like that. So thank you, Twitch. Bam. Send.
Right. Where's that link? I'll relink it over in mine.
So, in terms of builds, I basically expect to see a lot of Hellbringers. That seems to be the new meta-clan mech. The lasered burn duration hurt the Timberwolf too bad. It looks like for a lot of teams to take over the Hellbringer, not in all cases. CSJ, in all their matches, pretty much brings the Stormcrows and Timberwolves anyways.
Now, it depends on the map, too. Yeah, that depends on the map, too. I mean, the Hellbringer was a great choice on Tourmaline, because you want to be able to shoot over top of the Tourmalines and still have them for cover, whereas the Timberwolf had to expose its entire torso in order to use its weapons in an alpha. So you expose yourself far more in a Timberwolf on Tourmaline than you do than you would need to in the Hellbringer. So on this map, I mean, again, the high mounts will come in handy in certain parts of HVG, but 10 extra tons and lots of armor. Timberwolf may not be a bad choice. We might see a split 1-2 Hellbringer and maybe a third Timberwolf in order to help with some tanking.
Definitely. I don't really expect to see Stalkers, because this isn't really a ridge map. You know, it's got a couple of ridges you can peek over, but for the most part, this is like a Direwolf map where you pick where you want to be and you just slam somebody out in the open. Probably Wolverines, maybe, for corner peeking, although I gotta say, the EMP does tend to prefer Stormcrows a lot to SJR's Wolverines.
SJR loves the Wolverines.
They do.
I see them use that a fair bit. So, but again, high mounts can be quite handy in this map as well. So, we'll see if they choose to bring something different. Another good option on this map, in the hands of the right people, are gridirons, just because of they can just poke just up at the top of a ramp and hang off a gauss shot pretty quick. But I don't know, it's a little bit fragile. That's the only problem. But I have seen it used.
Yeah, there are a lot of ways they could go, but I don't know. I don't really expect much of poking on this map, to be perfectly honest. I expect somebody to commit and just roll, or, you know, post up on a defensive position. It's going to be difficult, though. This map can be great for fire starters to do work. It's got a lot of different angles for them to do what they need to do. But if the team sets up way far back, they might never get a chance. So I don't know whether these teams are going to go with poking ravens or the fire starters, but I'd guess fire starters.
If you you know, you might see a raven go up top on the surrounding wall and just poking, moving around the perimeter and just poking. That's another thing you may see. That way they can have a couple of fire starters doing the capping or killing other ravens, while the one raven just keeps harassing at obtuse angles on the enemy bigs. There's a few options here. I mean, I don't think capping is going to be a thing. These two teams are the type of teams that are going to duke it out, and I just don't see them really making an attempt to try to grab Theta or even bother trying to do a full 3 cap.
See, I don't know about that one, because I do feel like the farther back you stay, the more of an advantage you have. Sort of along that, I'm actually on map tactics right now. I'm drawing like that sort of back line along there. I've seen a couple of competitive teams set up there. I think it actually might have been EMP and Run Hot or Die a few months ago. But it does seem to be a good spot to trade from, especially with direwolves. Whoever pokes over just gets absolutely wrecked. You got a lot of good lines, and you can sort of take cover from what you want. If they went in with fire starters, grabbed Theta early, and maybe just bailed out, you know, I guess they could try that. But it is a hard cap to hold. You know, there's not a good way to sit there with your main force. They launched, so looks like we're heading into round.
Okay. Change your overlay, my friend.
I don't have to. We'll never have to do that again. Thank God. Mostly for the viewers. Looks like in blue we've got EmpyreaL over here. I see Stormcrows, Fire Starters, Raven 2X, a lot of Hellbringers, and some Dire Wolves. That's just a first glance.
Why am I not working? EmpyreaL.
Yep.
Okay. On the SGR side, was that SGR or EMP you were looking at?
Yeah, EMP is 2 Fire Starters, a Raven 2X, a couple of Stormcrows, a Nova, 3 Hellbringers, and 3 Dire Wolves.
So the starting lance, the bigs are a Hellbringer and 3 Dyers. They're already engaging with EMP's 2 lance starts. So we've got Proton, Sealith, and Twinkie in Dire Wolves with Schopenhauer in a Hellbringer and Imminent in a Hellbringer.
There's been a lot of damage put out. They're really trading it out here. Carnage down to 80%.
Yeah. And G-Man as well down 70s. And
EMP has damage spread over, but they're taking some good hits too here.
Okay, so the lights have... Looks like the lights did end up going to the center.
What's the rest of SJR doing?
SGR's guys are just coming in now. They're taking... they took a quick pot shot down at the fire starters. EMP's fire starters are tentatively thinking of getting into the back of the small lance, but I don't think that's happening right now.
G-Man's about to pop here in his Hellbringer. Carnage also really not looking good in his Direwolf.
Okay, we lost one Direwolf. Yep. SGR
G-Man goes down.
Direwolf. Magician just
Highmaker, Magician, Carnage down. So, EMP is taking this pretty handily so far.
Done. Yeah. And there's a bunch of UAVs up, and everybody knows where everyone is. Yeah, this is not looking good.
Yeah, what are the Novas going with? Because you see a lot of fresh mechs for SGR. This was not a good damage spread for them. They lost way too many mechs way too early, and way too many are too fresh now.
But Novas are running 6 mediums. Visions in a 6 medium. We've got the Firestar is running 5 medium pulse on the SGR side.
The
other Nova is running 2 large pulse, 2 medium, which is a pretty heat efficient. That's running that.
And it looks like it's mostly just chase down mode. EMP's got some weak mechs, but they are up 7-0 right now. This first round going handily to EmpyreaL.
Ouch. Well, I think the problem here is the direwolves were in a 4-on-8 engagement, and the SGR, the balance of the SGR team just couldn't get there in time.
Yep, it was just simple as they got split, and that was it. You know, Gray Fox up here in his fresh Raven doing as much poking as he can do, but he's not going to last long alone up here, unfortunately.
And I remember we were talking about the Ravens on the wall, and that's exactly what happened there. The Ravens got up on that wall and just were poking, but that's not happening.
Audi and his fire starter and Aurora going circling around so they can get up on the wall. Going to try to chase him down, I assume. See if he makes it that long. Strike. Oh!
There goes. Oh, and that, you know, Gray Fox had quite a bit of health left.
Yeah, he got
that was a good snipe. Oh, Schopenhauer can snipe, that's for sure. Running Goss, I think he's probably Goss 4 Meads if he's in the Hellbringer.
So, looking at damage numbers, it's just a clear, straight-up victory for Imperial. The Direwolves carrying the day. All 3 Direwolves putting out an absolute ton of damage. I'm pretty sure Proton was in the Direwolf. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, Twinkie, Proton, and Sealith. Yep.
And SGR, nobody broke 300. It was pretty even, but a disappointing performance on their part. Just that early trading, it all came down to that. EMP did a much better job of focusing 2 or 3 mechs out, got those 2 or 3 mechs down early, and that's what wins it. You know, EMP took the same amount of damage in those early trades, it looked like, but they were spread between all 12 mechs instead of 4 or 5.
Yeah, and this is the problem with HPG, is the one lone lance spawns so far away, and I'm actually surprised that SGR chose to put that lone lance there. I guess they thought they would tank it or something. I'm not really sure. We're gonna have to find out from Magician what their thinking was.
Definitely not. They got pretty split up pretty early, and I don't really know what the balance of their force was doing for most of that time. Maybe they were trying to work on another angle, but you know, ultimately the game came down to 1 lane, and I'm drawing it in purple here. It's just that this trading lane that decided the game, and EMP won it. They, you know, got here, and their direwolves didn't shuffle across. I think they know that probably wasn't a good plan, and they just set up there. They had no problem occupying it. And I think that perhaps SJR just wanted to rush in and put pressure on them from the back. They didn't expect EMP to just stand there and shoot back, and that's what they did, and that's really my only guess as to how that happened, because the rest of SJR was kind of, you know, sitting up top, really didn't have any line on those guys down in Echo 6 at all. Some of EMP's guys went in here and quick capped. I didn't really see what the rest of their force was doing either, but
yeah, it just seemed like the one lance just took forever for SGR to get there, and by that point, the Direwolves and the Hellbringer were pretty much just all but destroyed. And I'm just looking at your restream here, and so you had a different perspective. I was doing sort of a top-down, overlooking the trades.
I should probably like refresh this page so I can actually see my stream.
Yeah, it's just that's just a rough engagement when you're fighting 4v8.
Yeah, it's rough. I definitely think they were a little bit scattered there, and not, I don't know. That one looked odd enough for me to think that might have been some strange unfollowed call or something like that. Oh, I'm hearing from Magician now. Gave EMP the victory because some people decided that they didn't remember what they were supposed to do. So it sounds like a plan failure where some people didn't quite execute the plan as intended. And, you know, in any plan like this where you know, sort of put your balls out there and you leave a bunch of people stranded, if your team is not together, if they are not with it and coordinated, it does not go well. So that first drop goes to EMP, and now SJR gets their choice of map side for the second drop, which is Skirmish, 720 tons.
Yeah, so the F3 starting lance, the one that's in the middle, I'm not sure if they were supposed to go the other way with the direwolves. It looked like they went left.
That is what it seemed like, and that was really
That's what it
strange for me
seems
because
like.
they
They left
almost
the direwolves
always
alone.
shift right. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to watch that again. But geez, that just did not work out. Having said that, if anybody can bounce back from a first round like that, it's SJR. They don't let that stuff get in their head, and
Well, and you can come back. I mean, you know what? The the first drop, sometimes there's some nerves, sometimes there's that that sort of lack of clarity or focus, and you just sometimes you need to get your butt kicked in order to smarten up and go, okay, it's time to put the try hard pants on. You know, that's
definitely
something that
that first
happens
round
too.
going in cold is it's always hard because even when you've been
Yeah,
practicing for the day and stuff like that, it's like that first real match. You know, your blood's really
yeah.
flowing, and it's easy to make mistakes and get scattered like that. And I don't expect it to happen again. I'm sure Magician is whipping people in line right now, so we'll see how the second drop goes. What kind of a drop deck do you expect? Because this one is the wild card. This is the one you can do, you know, like 10
Yeah.
Thunderbolts and stuff like that.
Well, I think that I there's two ways to approach it, right? Is you mix lights through to assaults, so you have some beef to tank. I think one of these teams, I think EMP is going to bring direwolves. They're gonna put the pilots in their specialties, so they're going to keep 2 or maybe 3 lights, and they're going to be able to work some dyers in there for this map. Um, I mean, I've seen some teams do Streakland with 720. Personally, I like the Thunderbolts because they're tanky, but and you just, I mean, that was something that QQ was doing. Was he's just using the 7 medium pulse Thunderbolts and just charging right in and ripping legs apart. So that's another approach. Um, you do a mix of mediums and heavies. So there's a fair bit of variety. Me personally, I think we're gonna see some Thunderbolts. I mean, sorry, we're gonna see some Hellbringers and a couple of Dire Wolves and some lights. I don't know if both teams will do that, but my bet's on EMP doing that.
It'll be interesting. Unlike a lot of 720-ton drops where I think it's a total disadvantage to bring direwolves or anything that's slow just because you're sacrificing, 30 kilometers an hour of mobility for, you know, I guess, better firepower. But on this map, you can probably work with the direwolves since it's so split up because of that, the giant structure in the middle. You can probably take your time getting set up. It'll be interesting to see if one team sort of takes a slower deck and the other team just goes in like full heavies across the board.
Well, Hellbringers here are pretty solid. I mean, you can take 10 Hellbringers and 2 lights, and they pack a good punch. They've got high mounts, so you can get up top of center and shoot down quite well and control the map that way. There's one way to go.
Definitely. Lots of interesting approaches on this map. It's not my favorite, but it is a pretty well balanced map, I gotta say. It's not great for pug games, because when you're in a slow mech and you get stuck on the lance that's alone, that's just terrible. Well, it's time to give away another mech bay. I don't know if Army of One is giving more away in chat as we speak, but I'm gonna go ahead and start doing it. So let's see. Watch Turtle live. You win one, and let's see. Next one is King Gruber, and the third mech bay going out in this round is Darth Funkaninja. I like that name.
Right.
Why am I giving away 3 at once? Because we have so many damn mech bays to give away, so here it comes, people.
Okay, so looks like the lobby's being formed. So in 720 ton, I think there will be a bit of a rush to Theta to begin with. That's my guess. I think we're going to see some early engagement around Theta. A little more speed here, so... Oh, wait, never mind. I'm thinking of Conquest.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, they're going to go up to the top of... That's my guess, anyway.
Well, the other thing to note is that Imperial now gets to pick whatever the hell they want for a defensive position. Now, they could do something weird. I don't know. Maybe they've, you know, concocted some weird strategy where they just, like, camp Sigma or something like that. And forces SJR to come at them in a weird way. I think they'll probably go in the middle, but I think they're definitely going to be bringing slower, you know, Direwolf style, just put a bunch of damage on mechs, and SJR is going to have to go faster.
Did you get any word on who got what side?
That is a negative, so I don't know which they're going to choose.
Pulling up the map here. So to play the strengths of the map, I mean, it would make sense to have the Lance that has only the 4 guys be fairly quick guys, so you might see 2 lights and 2 mediums there, just so they can get the hell out of dodge and go meet up with the other 8. That would, to me, would make sense. Interesting how we're seeing Novas replacing the Stormcrows as well due to the change in the negative quirks on the Stormcrow and the positive quirks that were given to the Nova.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to see the Nova and some other mechs getting a little bit of love instead of just like, why would you take anything but a Timberwolf and Stormcrow? I think that the nerfs actually did pretty much what they were intended to do. Although they're still great mechs, it did take them off that ridiculous pedestal that they were on. So it's good to see, and I hope they continue to make some balance changes on these Bias and Clan mechs that still need some loving. Oh, a great trivia question from Army of One. What month and year did Russ Bullock tell that one dude that he was on a bit of an island, bud? That's a piece of MWO history there.
Well, I know it was last year.
Zarnia wins. It was June 2013, apparently.
Oh, it was 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Shit.
it was a long time ago, dude. It was because...
I felt like that was the beginning of last year. Wow.
No, because that was... I'm trying to think of what it was about. It was like jump sniping. Some guy was like, dude, jump sniping is horrible. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Balance is in the best place it's been in a long time. And he was just like, are you f***ing kidding me? But, yeah. One of the great moments in this community's history. I'm glad that PGI sort of owned that and made cockpit items and... You know, just whatever. They're a hell of a lot better at communication than they were 3 years ago, boy.
A lot of people are criticizing your Crimson Straight photo for HPG Manifold, by the way. Just saying.
Crimson Straight?
You have Crimson in your picture. As your picture for HPG. You have an HPG photo?
In my picture?
You're, you know, like next to the map details.
Oh, what the hell? Well, see, I didn't make this. Shout out to Overlay, and shout out to Farp Noodle, and I'm blaming everything on him. Yeah, so, you know, just, it's there. I don't care. That's what HPG Manifold looks like to me.
Good shit.
Whatever, some of those buildings kind of look similar. It could be the same planet, just ways over. I mean, hey, don't worry about it. So yeah, viewers, sorry, but that requires editing a CSV file, maybe even downloading an image and doing all sorts of stuff that I have no intention of doing in the middle of this shoutcast. I'm so hungry. I feel like just getting an ice cream sandwich for dinner and calling it a day. This is what adulthood is to me, is just that constant struggle between, should I just have an ice cream sandwich for dinner? Pretty awful. Nobody told me those would be the hard choices.
That's bachelorhood for you right there.
Yep.
Usually the night when you have a long night of gaming, you go for the 2 quick fixes: 1, order a pizza; 2, bowl of cereal.
Oh my god, a pizza! You're a fucking genius. I'm totally gonna order one of those later.
Call it up.
They are in lobby. I feel like they're just taunting me at this point.
Yeah, I'm watching.
They know that I'm hungry. They're not gonna let me eat.
Let's see if we can find out what side they're taking. Who's taking what? Oh, did they just drop? Yes, they did.
Seems like it.
They just dropped.
All right.
Go, go, go.
So here we go. Game
Overlay.
2 skirmish, 720 tons. Again, I'm just hoping that it happens automatically. I don't have any control over it anymore. I am hands off. That's right, viewers. No more overlay shenanigans, because I have an automatic scene switcher built into OBS. You should check that out if you didn't know about it, like I didn't. So blue is going to be Steel Jaguar. They're over here, and it looks like Timberwolves, Hellbringers, and Firestarters, and that's
There
all
it
they've
is.
got.
10 Hellbringers on the SJR side.
No, that's
the
Imperial.
EMP side, sorry.
Oh
EMP
wow, and they are. They
10
are.
Hellbringers.
They're going back. They're
to
going
the
to go
perimeter.
back and camp the perimeter. Now, this is what you get to do when you win that first drop. And I don't know how SJR is going to approach this, but they're definitely going to have to find a place to come over a ridge so they're not just all walking around the same corner and dying one at a time. This is going to be interesting to see if they can pull this off.
So Gut's kind of falling behind on SJR. I don't know what happened with Gut, if he had a technical difficulty or whatnot. Oh, he started in the Lance with 3 fire starters. So he's the odd man out. That's why. All right. So SJR decided they wanted a couple of timbers. And there we go. The Twinkie and the Hellbringer is already starting to poke. I'm going to look at what these timbers are that SJR has.
Yep, and EMP is shifting over into the crater. Getting ready for this push. They got a nice firing line.
Who is in a timber? Yeah, the Hellbringers are Goss 5 Meads on SGR's side. Timbers are Goss 2 Large Pulse. Additions in a Goss 4 Mead. So 4 or 5 mediums, that's typically the loadout for heat efficiency. You drop a laser and go for an extra heat sink. So they're pretty
SJR just
cautious
getting
on the
stacked
trading
up
right now.
Yeah, they're not gonna waste any health before they go on this push. Seleth down to 93%, but I don't know. Let's take a look at numbers here.
What's his status? His back is open. I mean, that sounds like it's teammate damage.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Could be, yeah. They're all trying to poke, right?
Yep, everybody's
And
about
here
90 or
comes,
above.
here comes the SDR push.
Yep, so G-Man looks like he's leading the charge, and they are going for legs, it appears. Not surprising, taking damage from the back.
Yeah.
Those fire starters are in there.
Fast way to go. So the EMP fire starters are in there. They moved to the back, but
One down for
1-1.
each team right now. Lots of UAVs.
This push is excellent to watch from Steel's standpoint. You can see sort of everything that's going on because he's at the back.
Watching these fire starters do a little bit of work. One for SJR goes down. They're moving around that right side.
2-2
So
now.
2 to 2.
Steel's is trying hard to protect that left side, and he's about to go down. And there he goes. Okay, so Steel's is down. It's only 1 kill
4 to
apart.
4. Wow. 4 to 3.
And Strike just killed Soul.
Oh man, they got some
Rick
fresh
Ross,
Hellbringers
Ross,
over there on
Timbers.
EMP though. It's 5 to 5. This is a close match. But
Yeah,
I feel like
Fish is
EMP
running
has the
at it.
advantage.
It's 6-5. This would go either way. Timberwolf Ghost is trying to push in now. He's getting shot at from 2 angles though. Oh, this is rough. Ouch. Yeah, Proton got him. And it's swinging to...
I feel like
it's tied
EMP's
up,
got
maybe?
the... But man,
Yeah,
these fire
Fish
starters
is
are doing
pretty
work
fresh.
here.
Proton, how's Proton doing? He's pretty good. There's a fire starter on his ass right now. See what happens here. Tweakin's all over him.
Yeah, I'm watching Tweaking here.
And he's getting shot in the back because he's turned around to try
Who
to kill
else?
Tweakin.
Rick Rom, Aurora, Fission is taking out the Pie Maker, so it looks like this is going to go to EMP barely, but they've got a couple of pretty fresh Max, unfortunately.
New target.
Yeah, I don't think Proton's gonna go down here. Weekend goes down, and that's it. The lights clean that up.
So much closer match this time. Close to the end, but those Hellbringers, they just had a couple of fresh ones at the end. EMP did, and that's what pulled it out.
Look at these damage numbers. So G-Man led that charge and ate it hard, but that is the Timberwolves. The best thing to do is to lead with the Timbers, because they can tank damage fairly well.
Yeah. It probably might have been better to get, you know, him to fall back halfway through that charge, or a bunch of other people to just sort of run in front of him to preserve him. You know, the longer you can keep any mech alive, the better off you are. But it was a close-fought battle, really difficult. You just see some slightly better damage numbers on EMP's side. You know, Proton, almost 500. Heimdallite, Banana Nut Muffin.
Brick Rom, 579.
Ah.
Yeah, and Aurora securing 3 of the kills with 387 damage. Yeah, that's tough. This map is just really tough. Like, you know, what EMP did is basically said, hey, we got the first game in hand. You got to come to us. And they were all stacked up, high ground, and had clear lines of sight. So it's really tough to push into that.
Definitely. I think that in a large part it came down to individual play, because it was a well done push. You know, there's no arguing that. You know, they really got in there. They went around that right side. They had a couple of guys peeking on the left. I think a couple guys did not make great peeks on SJR's team, where I saw a couple of Crest alone up on the edge of that crater, and you saw them just get, you know, eaten in 1 or 2 shots there, where everybody had their guns on them. Still, though, valiant effort, 8-12, and, you know, perhaps even closer than that when you really look at how much damage.
Well, let's hope this next one is a win for SGR, so we can see what they do for the 600 ton. That's always another interesting one. We've seen Streaks versus Pulse in the QQ 228 match, and actually it was the 228 did combination of smalls, and they were running Novas with small lasers, ER smalls, and Streak Crows, and I can't remember if they had any Mad Dogs, and then we just went straight in with
Thunderbolts and
all
Firestarters.
Medium pulse. Yeah, all medium pulse.
That was a fun drop to watch, I gotta say. It was interesting in that it was trading at like 200 meters. It wasn't like a furball brawl like I was totally expecting. It was a very organized trade at like 200 meters. Hardly ever see that.
Yeah, that, man, and it's a little bit frustrating, but that was a drop that we could have won. We legged 2 guys right off the bat, and we actually pushed in a little too aggressively, where we should have stayed back and just sat in B3 and had an open ground visual firing line. So if they poked out from behind buildings, we could just shoot their legs off. But we got a little aggressive, and then we got split. We had some guys go left and some guys go right. And that's what kind of screwed us, but live and learn, right? So
yep, that's all you can do. So
it was a good run.
Yeah, it was, and you guys again were the only ones to take teams past 3 since best of 5. So don't know how that happened, but I'm glad it did. So I always forget to change the next drop thing, so I'm sorry.
So we're back to 3-3-3-3 on Conquest. And let's see if they use the same plan again, executed properly this time from the SGR side.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to do a quick recap of that last round there. EMP is going to be down here in blue. And they just set up a nice, you know, kind of tiered firing line, you know, in that area. And SGR balled up everybody right there and all went around the corner. Got up to here and basically just tried to occupy that line. They did a good job. Got a couple of lights in here squirreling behind. Same thing for Imperial. I believe that the Imperial lights were all dead by the end. So that might have been a factor. Maybe they were concentrated on a little bit earlier than Imperial bothered to look at SJR's lights. But really close round. Really close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just catching the tail end of the cast on your screen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can try, but
there was a legged fire. Oh, so Aurora was actually legged.
oh,
Just
right.
didn't get finished off. So that's what happened there.
Definitely close. Again, there was only like one or two. Maybe it was just one fresh Hellbringer, and the other two were really wounded, and then it was just a leg fire starter. So very close round.
Proton was down to like 30-something%, and an open back, and Tweakin was trying to get him behind him, but it was getting shot at by the other guys. So that was pretty rough. Pretty rough. It was an interesting brawl to see, but pushing into a firing line, that is really rough.
Yeah, it's never fun to do that against a team that knows what they're doing and know who's. Oh, somebody asked. Yeah, it's Carpenter that's casting with me. The team leader, unit leader, competitive captain, whatever of QQ. So.
Yeah.
And yeah, it doesn't look like they're quite in lobby yet, so it's probably going to be a few more minutes. Viewers, you can probably go get a drink or take a piss or whatever.
It's all good. Here, what's my overlay at? Okay, so this time I think the direwolves are going to be accompanied by the middle lance. That's going to execute properly this time from the sounds of it. So let's see. So SGR started, they were team 2, I guess, in the first go. Their Charlie Lance had the direwolves and a Hellbringer, and their Alpha Lance looked like that was where the faster mechs were in the Alpha Lance. And in the first drop, they had gone left, going through Kappa to D3 in that side, and left the direwolves and the Hellbringer alone to face face 2 lances on the EMP side. So by the time any help came, it was just way too late. Like a direwolf and a Hellbringer were down, and the other 2 were pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised to see that EMP didn't go with direwolves that time. I thought that of all the times they were going to bring them out for, a firing line, that would have been it. But whatever, those Hellbringers work really well, really tanky, and they got the job done.
Well, uniformity really helps with, you've got ECM, you've got a massive ECM bubble, and you have uniformity, so it's really hard to call anything that's crit or damaged. You just have no data except for visual, seeing if a mech's either smoking, which if any of you don't realize, a smoking component is a component that's crit and ready to get torn off. So they're either looking for smoking components or trying to visually identify based on either paint job if they don't have a uniform paint job, or just visual damage status or location. So it just becomes a whole lot more complicated when you don't have the alpha codes to be able to call targets.
Definitely, it's something that, I guess it's more of an effect against, lower tier comp teams, but I see a lot of people underestimate, the power of ECM coverage. It's like, yeah, nobody brings lerms. It's not about lerms, it's about calling targets, because that's really what wins competitive matches, is focus fire. If you don't focus fire better, it's very hard to win. There's just no two ways about it. It's what this game is all about. Well, this is going to be interesting. SGR is not at a disadvantage this time in that they're not, forced to push because the game mode's Conquest, and if they take that middle point, they're going to win. So,
yeah,
we'll see how it plays out. Both teams on an even footing, but even if they win this, they're still going to have to come back and then probably fight a similar fight to the 720 drop where, again, EMP is defending, and they're going to have to attack. I think that'll be a little bit easier because it's lighter, so it's faster. Still, though.
Okay, so I see Looks like they're starting to form lobby. Twinky's not in the lobby yet.
Yep, I see about half of EMPs in the lobby, so...
Yeah. Additions in the lobby. Proton's not in the lobby yet. So, yeah, it looks like they're just getting started up, unless they're rotating people out. But EMP doesn't really have a lot of people to rotate, and that's another strength of EMPs, is that they don't have to worry about too much variability in play styles, because they have such a small, tight roster.
Definitely. And SJR, even though they've got, you know, a bigger roster of core people.
There's a little discussion in chat. I don't know if you noticed this. They're talking about jump snipers. Jump snipers versus laser vomit.
I do miss a little bit of jump sniping. I mean, it definitely was too good. It was too good in that it was the only thing you would ever take if you wanted to be consistent, because it worked on every single map in every situation. You know, the closed confines of River City or the wide open expanses of Alpine, you didn't have a problem anywhere. Whereas it's like, oh, I got SRMs in Alpine, might as well just alt F4. Like, why bother? But man, it was fun.
Yeah. But see, in this environment now, with Gauss and lasers, clan Gauss and lasers being so strong, you know, you jump snipe, you can get alpha on 1 or 2 pops. You know, especially by a direwolf. At 2 Gauss, 2 large pulse, and 4 mediums, 2 in the side torso, and a jump sniper. There goes all your weapons. So I would have been interesting to see jump sniping versus the laser vomit, Gauss vomit meta before they started nerfing the Timberwolf and the Stormcrow, and just to see how the two stack up.
I really gotta hope that Russ is actually gonna look at jump jets and maybe make them a little bit better, because it's like, listen guys, jump sniping was, you know, it mattered more when didn't have an 84-point alpha on the field, or whatever the hell a direwolf can do. You know, it's that laser vomit just usurped the alpha damage, and that's what it's always been about in this game. It's always about what's the biggest alpha you can put on one component of a mech, and laser just took over as soon as all the jump jets got nerfed.
Well, and look at the Ebon Jaguar. So I've been doing a bunch of drops in the Arrow, and let me tell you, I don't want to look at an Ebon Jaguar when I know it can Gauss medium me like a Timberwolf can. It's like for 10 tons less, it essentially has the same firepower of a Timberwolf, which is, it's just nuts. And once it's allowed in comp play, I think we're going to see Hellbringers and Ebon Jaguars in the scene.
I definitely
right now
we'll
it's
see
as
him
good
on
as a
poking
Timber.
decks.
Yeah, it seems like it's as good as a Timber. Plus the high mounts on it, without any negative quirks, which I'm sure it'll be negatively quirked by the time they're available for C-bills. Just my luck, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay, looks like the launch is imminently about to happen.
yeah, thankfully it's not as good as I thought it was gonna be, though. Like there was some worry that it was like, oh man. But the high mounts are great, but it's sort of nullified by the lower cockpit. Whereas the Stalker's got the cockpit right up there, right by the high mounts, and those are basically the top 2 things on the mech. The Jaguar still has to poke a little more just because it can't see anything otherwise. So I don't know that, because it's like the Hellbringer, I still think he has more utility just for the ECM. But
they just dropped.
All right. Drop 3, perhaps the final drop if EMP takes it. I'm hoping for SJR to come back. Why? Because I want to see this series go to 5.
Because we want to have an exciting series, that's why.
Oh, don't you controller one disconnected me.
Fun stuff.
So SJR is going to be in blue here, and they have Let's see, 2 fire starters are Raven 4X, it looks like Novas, and a Stormcrow, Hellbringers, and 3 Direwolves.
Okay, so this time the Direwolves. Let's see here. Okay, so the Direwolves are on the left. So they traded sides here. So the Direwolves on the left, they got the Novas and Hellbringers going with Stormcrow and Nova and 2 Hellbringers going with the Direwolves. And on the EMP side, Heimdall's the Hellbringer. He's already right out there in the open.
Man, SJR was really being aggressive on the left side here. Like, even though they're going to be up against 8 shortly, Magicians crossing out in the open, he's totally alone right now. But they're getting good angles, good looks. Nice little firing line back here. Let's see damage numbers. And now that everyone's here, they're dipping out right side, so they are going to take time to fall back.
Grouping up. Yeah, we got Grey Fox on the wall. He's shooting away. Let me just see. Is he running? I'm assuming he's ER large. Yeah,
Both
he's running a pair of ER larges.
UAVs.
So who's hurt the most? Heimdall's taken the most damage. It's pretty superficial. It's all over the body, so it must have been an arty strike.
Firestarter's trading it out on the left side. Coburn just took, I think, what it was, a Gauss shot, and his Raven 2X up on that wall. I'm going to take a peek at him.
Yeah, he's got an open side torso right now. His right side torso is open.
Yep, so he could pop with one more good shot, or if he gets left alone, he could really make a difference here at the end. Yeah. SJR has moved pretty much their entire force behind. All their Direwolves are behind, shifting right. EMP's pretty well set up. A couple of mechs peeking around here. See what kind of trades we get.
Yeah. So Heimdall's got an open back. His left arm is about to go, so he's going to lose an ER laser soon.
Oh, they're not going under. Them to drop. Maybe they are. Maybe Heimdall is.
Pushing. Looks like they're kind of gearing up for a push. Well, Heimdall's staying in the middle of the group.
And SJR definitely pushing around this right side here, so let's see how this goes. EMP is set up all the way on the right side. I guess they're hoping to get those far peaks when SJR rounds.
Okay, so Twinkie's about to eat it. He's looking at 3 Direwolves. He's
57%, but he's alive. I think he's got all his weapons
alive.
too.
He dropped down. Yeah, he dropped down.
Dude and his Nova took a lot of damage on the right side, down to 78. Piemaker and his Direwolf down to 66. Lots of damage Direwolves for all of SJR. All of them not looking good.
And he was legged again, and he's shooting at one of the... Oh, yeah.
Goot is down, and I feel like this is going EMP's way just in terms of damage numbers alone.
We have 2 dead on SGR's side.
And the Ravens going around the back now. Fighting, it looks like they're isolating Tweakin. SGR continuing the push up top. All through those Direwolves really weak.
Oof, Tweakin's down. Yeah, they're losing their lights.
G-Man down to half a Direwolf.
5-2. 5-2 for EMP right now. 5-3.
SGR's group back up, but this looks like just cleanup at this point.
Crap. Yeah, it's swinging hardcore now. And only 3 left alive. Damn.
It's just Ottawalla.
Started off looking good, but there it is.
And so the series goes 3-0 to Imperial.
3-0. Not
so a little bit of payback for that run hot or die, though.
Yeah. Not so exciting for a 5-game series, but...
No, but those last 2 were fun rounds to watch, I gotta say.
They were good rounds, yeah.
But now SJR's got to climb their way back. They've got to face the winner of 228th versus CSJ, which will be happening Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Tune in for that. And then they're going to have to beat Imperial twice if they're going to take this title. Wonka wins the 2000 MC Bracket Prediction Prize. Congratulations, Wonka. Or Vonka. I don't know. It's spelled with 2 V's, but it sort of seems like it's meant to look like a W. I'm not fixing it now.
Let's go with Wonka.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Wonka.
Confirm that in chat. He's watching.
Yeah, I'm sure he was, and he is the winner now. So that's good. It was a good set of games. Wish should have gone to 5, but you know, he always does. So these will be up on YouTube. I have been exporting things to YouTube. I've been super lazy about getting timestamps on it and making weekly reviews, but you can always check out my YouTube channel. I will link that in chat in a couple of minutes here. Geez, what overlay do I even have up right now? Map overlay? Yeah, okay. Carp, do you want to do a recap on that?
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I'm just updating my overlay here.
I would ask both teams if they intend to play it out, but pretty much on all these high-level games, they never do because it's just so frustrating to lose it. And it's like, what do you gain from, you know, winning the 2 games after that? It's then you're like, oh man, we could have done this. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
If they do, you know, I'm gonna stick around and watch for a few minutes here, but I definitely expect they will not be dropping the rest of them out.
Yeah, so this time around, SGR took Team 1, and they put Bravo Lance, which is the Delta 7 starting zone. They put their guys, their Direwolves there, and they were supported by a couple of Hellbringers, Stormcrow and a Nova. And they pushed out. They made some early trades. Heimdallite was the first one out. He pushed out ahead of the Direwolves that started off in the Charlie Lance in Golf 5, Fox 5. Took a little bit of early damage, but it was sort of all over the body. Superficial. It was pretty superficial damage. And then the Direwolves came out, and there was a little bit of trading, and then that SGR starting group pushed over to meet up with the other 4 mechs, and then they circled around Delta 4 to engage EMP, who basically set up an Echo 4. And then the trades just came down to basically focus fire and shooting true, and that's kind of the nutshell, nuts and bolts of it. But it looked like it could have gone either way at the beginning. And here we are in the restream, so we can catch it again.
Yeah, I just think that Imperial had the better position there. Where you watch SGR's Direwolves, they really get chewed up really fast. They're all together, and they, you know, they're sort of popping over a ridge, basically, because EMP's got the low ground, and Direwolves popping over a ridge just doesn't work. They need to come around the corner and have you in full view, and it sort of looks like it got tradey. I think they would have been better off to just really ball up and go hard in one direction, but, you know, it's a tough call to make.
Yeah, well, Direwolves have a hard time shooting downward because the arms just turf the ground. And that's kind of the shitty thing about the Direwolf that drives me nuts. But I saw at one point there, the 2 of the Direwolves were sort of in each other's way. They kind of bumped into each other. So that could have been blocking your firing lanes, blocking your teammates' firing lanes, prevents them from getting out the most amount of damage that they can in the short life that they have.
Definitely. The Direwolves, you know, it's one of those weird mechs where you just want them to be down low. You do not want them to be up high or high ground. I mean, high ground isn't necessarily bad, but not for peeking. You know, they're better off just sitting down at the bottom of a valley, looking up on something, getting ready to pump all that damage into it. And yeah, so EMP takes it 3-0. I am going to go ahead and link the YouTube channel in chat. That'll be there. Be sure to tune in Tuesday, 10 o'clock. Eastern time for CSJ versus 228. That's going to be a really good match. Both teams really skilled, coming off of, you know, pretty convincing wins, and, you know, especially 228 in the week before when they played Imperial. Every single match was a nail biter. I thought they might have taken it from EMP in every single one of those matches, so it's going to be a good one. Shout outs, Carp.
Yeah.
Got any shout outs?
Do I have shoutouts? I'm gonna give a shout out to 228 and CSJ. I think we're gonna see a really exciting series with those 2 teams. So I'm looking forward to Tuesday night. So shout out to both teams. you know, we scrimmed a fair bit with 228, so we have a good idea as QQ what their playstyle is, and a lot of people know CSJ is really good at the range fight, and I think we're going to see 228 be able to bring it, possibly with some brawling or mixed long range and brawling anyway in this 5-game series.
Definitely, it's going to be interesting to see, and you know, it depends on who wins that first match. That second match is a real wild card, just because, you know, you saw what EMP did. They camped all the way back, and I think it was a good choice. So I did just send Wonka his 2000 MC code, so congratulations to him for winning the bracket prediction. And yeah, I'll probably be going through retroactively and giving away some MC packs because we still have too many. But I hope everybody's getting mech bays and liking that. Shout out to PGI for giving us all those prizes. It's $1,000 worth of prizes supplied by them. All the mech bays you're getting, all the MC and all that stuff. It's good. Thank you to all the people that donated to this tournament. You know, Heimdallay getting it off the ground, making the rule set, all that stuff. Everybody that's donated. Tina for helping me get it organized and do all the advertising and all that crap. Thank you to Carp and everybody else who shows up here to cast with me. It makes it so much more fun. And last of all, thank you to the viewers, because none of this would be possible without you guys. Aww. So, yeah.
Making it fun for a Sunday night. Hope everyone had a good Father's Day, and for you mech daddies out there, happy Father's Day. So there's a shout out. Shout out to all the Mech Warrior dads who probably had to do some family time instead of playing in the challenge. And and congrats to you, Homeless. I think you're in the 20 something place in the gridirons.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't even really trying. I'm actually doing the last challenge. I'm still busy on the getting like the lottery stuff, and those I've just been using the gridiron because it's like more money. And God, I love that mech. I really do. I'm just effortlessly putting up really good numbers. Partially because my medium elo is shit, and partially because it's just a really awesome mech. So. Hunchback Gridiron, it has Homeless Bill's seal of approval. Go pick one of those up. Support PGI.
I was bombing around in the Arrow, and I was just sort of messing around in it. Actually needed to level it. So I thought, okay, I might as well run it, level it, make some cash. And then I had some pretty good matches, so I was like, oh, I'll just keep going with this. But I've been playing around with it. I've been trying it with 2 large pulse and 6 machine guns. I tried 2 large pulse, a medium pulse, and 3 machine guns. So I've tried 2 PPCs and 6 machine guns. You know, I think I like the 2 large medium pulse and the 3 machine guns the best, just for being able to brawl with stuff. But the PPCs, I just wish they were a little bit faster. You know, those extreme ranges, it's just meh.
I really wish that projectile speed was not their way of balancing like that pinpoint alpha. Yeah. It's like, please guys, just do ghost heat right, put everything on the same scale instead of just arbitrary linking, because it's like medium lasers and large pulse lasers. Oh, come on. Well, whatever. I'm not going to start bitching about balance because I could go on for hours about that. But yeah, thanks everybody. I guess we might as well cut it off here. So thanks for joining us, and I will catch you all on Tuesday.
All right, take it easy. I think I'll be joining you on Tuesday if you don't have anybody else.
Oh, yeah.
All right, have a good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.